Hi everybody, hope you're having fun in Server Slam at the moment. Hopefully you've got access. I know a lot of you have got into game and you're smashing each other. That sounds weird. But also make sure to subscribe to the channel, post notifications on all. There'll be some videos posted, fingers crossed, over the weekend. But a lot of time and effort goes into like how I create videos for this channel. So if things take a little bit longer, I might be just doing more short form. But I'm going to try and do a lot of more skill controls, playable based elements of coverage, but also some news and information. Then we've got, I think, 3 big topics to talk about. We're going to talk about some leaks. We're going to talk about things that are in with the Server Slam, which we're going to start with, and as well some things that you're going to see over the weekend as part of what the developer has. And make sure to give feedback. That's one of the biggest things. Give the game, the developers, some feedback so they can maybe take the game in directions that you may want to see. So, as part of the Server Slam, there's things that I'm seeing that I didn't have before to access. One of those being rifts or tier 2 rifts that you can go and access. It looks like they might have removed the more spicier Promethean cores which they had before. And also there's a lot more things that have been added to the stores as well to buy. These particular materials are certain things that I haven't seen before as part of grabbing this. There's also all alt costumes added as well to grab from the consumables or cosmetic section. The heroic Promethean cores actually do exist within here, but you still can't access to open them. You can just purchase them. So they must be just in there for placeholder, or towards the end you may be able to grab more. But these are, looks like, well, I'd say they got better drop rates. It's just that we don't have any more details. Level up materials are being seen as well, so you can see some of the source clusters. This will help level up massively your roster. As you can see, they're really beefing up the amount of levels. They get me a nice amount compared with some of the other ones that are more kind of lower, so look out for their presence. But of course the main thing is this: you need to get those loofah coins, and there is a trade-in for them. You can also add me in game if you want. My name is Gotham Ham. It's my current name. Now, set times though won't be PvP, there'll be dueling, and in that time I would recommend people checking out the PvE side of things when it comes to the game. Once you're doing stories, maybe you're repeating back to grab materials if you want to do that. Go into rifts and make sure to do that on a regular basis to get materials, to rank up, and then have stronger heroes and villains, and also make sure to do summoning and all that stuff that I recommended in so many tips videos. One of the big things about a weekend is availability. If you've got availability to play and you are in game, then of course there will be some things available, like a tournament. This, by the way, I absolutely love. Quick PvP glossary. Flattened roster, all characters are set to the same baseline level, so progression differences are removed and matchmaking is based on skill. Love that. That is fantastic. That is one of the things over the course of other games that I play, not naming names, but people probably guess why, I've always wanted to see. This is something that I said right in the beginning when the new mode was added into that other game, that it needed to be flatlined. If that's something that comes in with the main game, and something you have to consider is this might be just for this Server Slam and ongoing playtests, thumbs up, right? But there's also other things as well. Hyper time levels are set to level 1 and super levels are set to level 1 as well. This means something like extra boosts are not going to give one particular type of character or player an advantage. Massive W. But they're really giving a good opportunity for players to play and also play at this alphas and minions only, rather than it being omega versions. It's not like an omega stomping on a minion or an omega stomping on an alpha. It's a bit different in its overall structure in terms of how they're doing it. And like I said, I don't know if this is going to be launched, they'll do something like this, or they're just doing tests to go, well, what would it be like if we tested this parameter? Today does see some stuff like all rarity rewards available based on leaderboard position, flattened progression level 10, and then you've got some other stuff as well, SP1, HT1, Hypertime 1, whatever it is, Power 1. It's their matchmaking based on duo power, which is nice. So you could have, well, I don't know about that, because you might be like, well, you could take an Omega and then have something that's just a little bit less stronger. Maybe you find a balance in some ways that works well. You could have a minion and an Omega. I don't know, but it's a test, isn't it? You got to see is stomping going to feel good, bad? Is it going to be something that they'll change? Also, quick match opens as well later on in the day. So this is good. Lots of things on today. So Friday, this is Friday stuff. Going into the weekend, it looks like there's competitions and other stuff. Obviously more stuff when it's the PvP, you know, you'll be able to kind of PvP to your heart's desire, possibly. And then you've got up until Sunday, DCKO Slam, which is, I suppose, like a mini type of like tournament type thing. The developer is still looking for feedback as well. I know I've seen people complain about the game already, and it's like, someone was saying like it was clunky. It's an alpha, and they're allowing you to come in to give feedback to at least say, well, what you like about it, what you don't, rather than just putting it out and people moaning about it more. So it's like, moan about it now, give feedback, make it better upon launch, or moan about it now and keep moaning about it until it's launched. It's like, pick a hand. What do you want? Either way, like, I've had some good experiences using an iPad 2021, and I've had some bad experiences. Then they've done a update, like a patch, and it's been a bit better, and then another patch and it's even better than that, and then there'll be another patch and it'll probably get a little bit worse. Then that's what really happens in this. Like, they're testing bugs, they're trying to fix those bugs, but they're trying to do it in a very kind of like, you're involved, but at this alpha level, not a fully polished level. Whilst I'm recording this is Friday, so you might see me in game for like a stint of time, or I might be doing more PvE stuff whilst I'm waiting for servers to open, because sometimes it's not always like ideal on the time frames to get into play, especially being in GMT. And then when it is, then I've got other stuff on that means I have to take my time elsewhere away from DCKO. Life, man. The final thing we're going to be covering in this video is leaks. Okay, I'm sure some people say like, don't cover this. Well, I would say with this, it may be taking it with a grain of salt. Now, what's the one thing that you haven't heard anything about in DCKO so far? That's right, the story. What are in stories? Text. What can you put in text? Names of characters. So I'm not saying that this is or isn't, but this could be an indication that maybe this is in the story that is coming up. You've got here, and this is from DCKO Leaks. I will leave a link to like all sources in the description if you want to check out this stuff. Amazo, Flash, Lobo, Source Lord, Joker, Supergirl are mentioned, and as well Green Lantern, Dark Star. Now, those could be parts of a story coming up. Those could be future characters, because you could say that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or maybe 6 alphas or characters that are actually going to be in the game, and 1 future minion, where that Source Lord could be a minion, although I'm now questioning myself if that's a DC character or not. I mean, yeah, this could be to do with this. It could be the source in general. Like Source Lord. Source Lord could be like a character that is the overarching creation of DCKO and have that interweaving stuff. But I'd be just guessing, and that maybe this is the thing with a lot of like leaks and things. Is it guesswork in terms of based on what is actually there in not code, but in like written text that hints to characters or hints to stories? You have to really take your pick of what you want to interpret it as. I think a lot of us knew that Joker was going to come in, or there was a tease to it. Flash seems obvious, and a lot of the hard-hitting characters, whether they'll think that Lobo has that as much clout that we got from the recent Supergirl movie, which some people really didn't like that film. Some people did. Some people say that it's an affront to the DC fandom. Some people say it's okay. Some people say that they shouldn't have, James Gunn should be fired. Like, X.com is a perfect place to see where the opinions are of various people. But ultimately, there's going to be characters that you're going to like and dislike that are coming to this game, and you've got to trust that this is going to lead to something. If it's text info, is that text info on abilities? Well, we don't know. You know, this is just being put out there as potential, but nothing clarified on abilities, you know, character models, things like that. From my earliest conversations with the developer Dropfake, they were putting stuff in place to deal with leaks, but were aware that it could happen. So what level of information has been extracted, how that was done is again going to be a big thing. And I think that's why they've opted away from things like APKs, but I don't know specifically on that one. Or how this information's been got, and will more information be like dished out? Will more leaks, hacks, and things like that be done? Because it does open up a big question around emulators, which we need to see if there's any answer on that one, because that does have a big bearing on how you'll be able to access certain things, what you're able to access, controller functionality, and other things as well that breach into things like terms and conditions, and how TNCs and other games mean that if you access things like emulators and other things, you're largely met with a ban. But the thing, obviously, obviously the main point is this is in alpha. Things will happen whether you like them at this stage or you don't. This is not the launch of the game, and this is just testing. This is the opportunity where not a large amount of people get to access at an alpha level this game. Yes, people do, but largely they're like play testing focus groups, and they're not kind of thrown out in this kind of like wider way. But yeah, exciting times. What are your thoughts on some of those characters if they turn out to be real? Like I said, the reason I'm covering is that you don't know if it's 100% correct. Text from, say, a story, text obviously for, I don't know, character placements. There's nothing in terms of models and things, so maybe more information, maybe more leaks will come to light. Your thoughts are welcome in the comments. I will see you hopefully in game today. If not, it will be maybe over the weekend, but I have got some stuff on personally that I cannot move. But I may play a nice amount of hours and be able to turn it into videos. But also, maybe I'll see you in game. Maybe you'll absolutely destroy me in PvP. We'll look out for each other. Thanks for watching, and check out some other content, which will be, I don't know, briefly here. And we're out of it. Bye.